Yes, it's your boy Vicky Melody back on this onion. What? Damn, this thing is not easy. Yo, welcome guys. Welcome to another awesome tutorial. But this one is gonna be a tip. I won't be teaching sounds, but it's something quite knowledgeable that you should know. And some people have also commented in the comment section. They asked me a certain question. I'm getting most of your questions, and I'm trying to make videos for each of the questions. So anytime you feel like you want to know something, just go through the channel, see videos, then comment and like, so that I can know the kind of tutorials you want to see on the channel. Okay, so and today I'll be talking about someone asked me on the channel and also on my DM on Instagram and on WhatsApp if when to use group tracks, when to use mono plugins, and when to use stereo plugins. So I'll be showing you guys the best way to record your vocals, whether on a mono track or on a stereo bus. So let me get my screen down so you could see. Here is just my mixer, so I could just get the playlist down. So this is like this is my playlist. So normally when I want to record a vocal, like I want to take a vocal, vocals are mono, since like I think the mouth is one and you are making one instance of a vocal at a time, so that's one. Stereo means multiple sources, but mono means one. You understand? So making a vocal, you should use a mono track for that vocal. Now I see a lot of people, a lot of producers have gone to studios, and I see especially those who are still coming up, what they do is on their insert on this mono channel, they add all the effects that they want, on this mono track, which is CPU heavy, because when you start adding the same kind of effect for your vocal on each of the tracks, you're going to have load a lot of plugins, and at a point your CPU will start crying. So the best thing to do if you're taking a lead vocal, because there are times you have to do multiple takes of the same lead vocal and select the best out of all of them. So I can create like 2 mono tracks or 3 mono tracks just for the lead vocal. Then I'll create a group track. Then I'll send the lead vocals to that group track. Then any effects, and that group track has to be stereo. Reason you can make it mono, but the reason why I make mine stereo is because at some point in those individual tracks, in the mono tracks, I may want to pan to the left at a point and automate to the right. So if I'm sending it to a mono group track, it might not give me that flexibility because I'm trying to stereoize that mono track. So that's why normally I create mono tracks for my audio, my records, then I send them to a stereo group, so that in case if I decide to automate, like if you watch on my screen, I did some automations here. So in case if these are some automations, I think I pan left and right. So had it been I didn't send them to a stereo track, that movement into the stereo image will not be interpreted well in that group, a mono group track that I created. So that's why I send them to a stereo group track, and you see all my effects for this vocal is in that group track. That means it's affecting everything I sent to that group track. Now on my individual tracks, the only thing I can add is auto tune. I add my auto tune here, then a gate, a noise gate actually, to block some dB, as in once it crosses a particular threshold, it blocks everything there, then allows only the vocal to come out. In case if there is noise in your room, you understand, it blocks that. Those are the 2 things I add in all of the vocal inserts, all of the mono inserts you see in all of them. Then I'm now processing all of them together as one sound. Then I send them to my my group track where I have everything working on the vocal. Then you could also do for your chorus, you also create mono tracks, because a voice comes out one at a time. So you create mono tracks for your vocal, you also send it to a group track which is stereo. Now there are times when I will use a mono plugin and times where I will use a stereo plugin. Now this is a stereo group track. I cannot use mono plugins here. For example, this SSL channel is SSL channel stereo. That is the SSL channel mono. Let me check. SS. This is the mono version of the plugin. The same thing, they do the same thing, but if you see on the screen here, it says SSL stereo and SSL channel mono. I can't load a mono track on a stereo group track. It doesn't make sense and it won't be interpreted well. It will only be processing one track out of the two stereo tracks and it won't process it well. You can try it by yourself and hear what it sounds like. It doesn't sound well. So that's why. There are times I could use mono plugins on my mono tracks. For example, this is a mono track and I'm sending all of them to for example, I want to create a track that I'll be doing a radio voice on, so I'll just create that and put, since it's a mono track, I'll use a mono EQ. For example, where is this guy? There are many, each of them has stereo mono. I will load them. I've loaded the stereo. I'll load the mono instance because I'm processing a mono track. So to see the time to use your mono and stereo plugins, you don't load a stereo plugin on a mono track. You load mono plugins on mono tracks and stereo plugins on stereo tracks. So it makes sense. So in case I want to process each track individually, and since it's a mono, I have to load the mono version of that plugin. So going ahead from there, so that's just it. I think it's the best way to get because if you don't record right, then your mix might not come out clean also. So these are the little things that people ignore. You can also record for example, I could decide to record mono on like I'm recording a guitar and I plug in a guitar, live guitar, and play it. Those are mono. If I want to play it as a lead, it comes as a mono. But there are instances of guitars that come as stereo that you want to have it stereo. You can record it in a stereo bus. But ideally, most takes are done on mono tracks. Then you send them to stereo group or bus so that you can process them as stereo. Because the world doesn't listen to sounds in mono, the world listens to sound in stereo. So it's ideal that everything you do, that your output comes out as stereo, not in mono. So I could do mono tracks, recording them, send them to stereo buses or groups. I could also, maybe if I loaded one, I played the guitar or someone plays the guitar, live guitar for me, and I like it, I will just process, instead of sending the guitar to a group, I will just process the guitar there on its own, and I'll use mono plugin since it's going to be a mono track. You understand the stuff here? So that's just it. If you've gotten any value from this channel or this tutorial, consider to like the video, subscribe, so that the YouTube algorithm will help my channel grow. Understand? That's your way of paying back for the goodies I'm dishing out. You understand? So feel free to hit up my in the process of this video, you'll be seeing cards on top there. So I'll be linking some videos that I feel that you should also see, and also check out the channel, subscribe, like, and my contact and my Instagram handles, if you want to follow me, will be on the screen right now. And if you have your mixes, no matter where you are, you could just send your data and get it professionally mixed and mastered. It doesn't cost much. So yeah, so that's just it. See you guys next time. I'm preparing. Someone asked me to do a tutorial on how to mix Afrobeat, and I think I'm actually on that right now. I'm not done editing the video, but I decided to put out this quick one. So see you guys very soon. Stay creative.